Okay, I have to confess, I have actually secretly always wanted to do one of these kinds of videos, and that is a story time video. Today, I want to talk about why I rejected doing a sponsored YouTube video. It's so hard for me to say this because even a year ago or like 6 months ago, if somebody had come to me and said, "Hey, I will pay you to make a video about this, will you do it?" It wouldn't have mattered if it was about like, I don't know, something totally unrelated to my brand, like why Georgia Bulldogs are the best, or brands of lighters, or whatever. Literally, I would have been like, oh my God, yes, I've made it. I'm a YouTuber. Give me your money. I will make your video. You're going to be so happy with what I make. But when I got this email a couple of days ago, somebody was like, hey, we would love for you to make a video with either an interview or like a course review. We can pay you. We have a budget. Are you interested? And I was like, yes, but also question marks. I had a lot of question marks. So this is the story of what happened and ultimately why I turned it down, because I never thought I'd be in a position to say no to money as a freelance content creator. And hopefully, like every good lesson, like every good story, it has a couple lessons at the end for any other content creators to learn. And you know, this is applicable for everyone. And I forgot to say, I have screenshots. I also forgot to say that it's New Year's Eve as I film this, so I thought I would enjoy a little glass of wine while I film this video. Okay, so first of all, the initial email, I pretty much told you everything it says. So it was, hey Zuli, I'm looking for YouTubers to do an in-depth review of an online course, or potentially an interview with one of the founders. I have a budget and I'm looking to get some reviews up quickly. Are you interested? Thomas. I was interested. I was very interested because I don't know, I felt like it was the first mark of me like becoming a big YouTuber, right? It's somebody saying, I will pay you money to do this cool video. But the more I thought about this initial email, the more my gut was like, maybe think a couple more times about this, like before you say yes. First of all, like, why was it such a pared down invite? Like, read the email again. There's nothing in there other than the fact that A, they want me to do a video, and B, they can pay me money for it. That's it. I don't even know what the course was about, why they thought I was a good fit, how they'd found me. Literally no email information in there. And okay, I have two theories about why this is the case. And the first one is a little conspiracy brain, so bear with me because I'm gonna get my tinfoil hat. Theory number one is that Thomas here subscribes to the psychological belief that once you get someone to say yes to one thing, it's a lot easier to get them to say yes to other things down the road. I don't think he was trying to psychologically manipulate me, but you never know. That was the first thing that came to mind. Okay, hat off now. The second thing that occurred to me was just that Thomas was sending out tons of these emails to tons of different people, and it was simply more cost effective for him to send out a generic one with very little detail that would be vaguely applicable to a ton of people versus like something specific and personalized to me. Both, I don't know which one, maybe something totally different, but both of those kind of left a nasty taste in my mouth. I didn't want to be one of many, and I didn't want to be sort of manipulated into saying yes. So there could have been an innocent reason for the email, but I was still a bit like, I went into it a bit question mark, like I said, question marks. The second thing was, I actually did email Thomas and I was like, this sounds interesting. Yes, I am interested. I would love to know more. Like, for one, what is the course you want me to do a video on, right? And he let me know that it was a course to sell stuff on Amazon. And I was like, well, you've seen these videos. I don't do anything about selling stuff on Amazon. Okay. I did do one interview with the founder of a course very similar to this, selling stuff on Amazon, with Steven Summers. But the difference in how I was approached for that video and for this sponsored video was day and night, okay? Lisa came to me and she was like, hey, I love your channel. You do really cool stuff. I would love to do a video with you and Steven talking about a couple, and then she bounced a couple of ideas off me about how we could create an interview that would provide value for my audience. When I emailed Thomas to ask for more information, he said, hi Zuli, the course is called We teach entrepreneurs how to sell on Amazon using something called Fulfillment by Amazon. It's aimed at beginners, so even if you don't have a background in e-commerce or Amazon, you'll learn everything you need to know from the course videos and additional resources. If you do have experience selling online, even better. Here are a few example videos from previous collaborations. I posted a few links. Please let me know your rate for a dedicated sponsored video, and if you have any other questions. Thank you, Thomas. Now, again, he mentions the money again, but lacking from this video is any information at all about why I was a good fit for them. The only thing he had to offer me was cash. And like I said, 6 months ago, I would have said yes in a heartbeat. But now looking at the money and thinking like, are my viewers going to enjoy this? Is this going to be good for them? Like, am I offering anything valuable, or am I just doing a course for money that has no bearing on the content I normally provide for them? And I felt like it was the latter. But I was, okay, I wanted to say yes. So I was like, all right, whatever. I'll check out the examples that they provided. Maybe there was some kind of twist I could do, some way to make this interview or course review interesting and valuable for my viewers who normally watch my stuff. So I checked out the example, and I honestly still don't know why he chose these examples, but all of them had 3 things in common. First of all, the creators of the videos were small, like smaller than me. I think one had 500, one had just under 2,000, and one had just over 4,000. So like small enough that like if I were that size and I was offered a sponsored video, I would jump at the chance. So that's my first thought. The second thing was that all of them had like a disproportionately large number of views. So one had like almost 100,000 views, one had 15,000 views, one had 3,000, a number of views that I would be very happy to get on any of my videos. But the third thing was that all the comments, like overwhelmingly, were awful, bad, angry comments. Now, I'm blessed with a community who is so supportive and so welcoming and so just wonderful. Y'all post really nice comments, cool comments, interesting comments, things that make me think and want to create more. That was not the case for these videos. So some of the comments were like, fake review, stay away, plenty of good videos on YouTube to teach you for free. How much did you get paid for this dishonest review? It's a scam, you're just enjoying that $1,000 gift card. The fact that people fall for this stuff is crazy. And that really put me off. I was like, whoa, I do not want people coming into my YouTube comment box and typing stuff like that. I'm very thin-skinned, but also I didn't want to create the kind of content that would elicit these types of comments. That rubbed me so the wrong way. I just did not want to do that. So I was still thinking like, why did he pick those examples? The only thing I can think of is that he thought I would be like attracted by the thought of getting thousands of views on my video. But I also suspect that, I don't know, I still have my doubts about that. But like I said, I wanted to say yes to this offer. I wanted to try to make this work because, you know, I love chasing the dollar bill. I'm all about that. But I wanted to do one final bit of investigation to see if there was like anything I could salvage from this offer. So I checked out the website for this place and it was shady. It was so sketchy. So I try my whole brand. I try my very best to be my most honest, transparent, personal, gimmick-free, believable self. Like, I'm not scripting this. I mean, I am reading the article that I just wrote about this, but I don't practice my videos before I make them. I just try to come off as real as I can because I think that's the most valuable thing I have to offer is myself. So I mean, honestly, I wish I were more salesy, markety because I think it would be easier to make a living. I don't do any kind of like, oh, stay until the end to see a surprising reveal or, you know, this one video will teach you how to be famous, rich, and beautiful. I hardly even mention my products and services, right? I try to make my content speak for itself. So that's why this website that I checked out was so jarring to me because it was totally antithetical to anything that I try to create myself as a video creator, as an article writer, as a person, right? It had bright color, it had aggressive pop-ups, it had a bunch of weird gimmicks. It had this one thing where you would slide the number of hours that you could offer and it would tell you like a big number would pop up with a very loud engine noise. It was weird. It was very strange. They even had this thing where if you wanted to look at the course, they made you watch a video to the completion of the video before you could even sign up. And it said like, apply now to see if you qualify for the course they're selling you. Come on. That felt so cheap to me. And I was just like, I know that works for some people, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, okay, I think there's something wrong with that, but plenty of people subscribe to that marketing and that sales belief, and it works for them. But it's so completely opposite to anything I do that, again, I was like, Thomas, have you even looked at what I do? Nothing like this. Like, if you need all these gimmicks to sell your stuff, then the stuff, I feel like it can't be that obviously valuable, because you really need to bang people over the head with exclamation points to convince them to buy from you. That didn't sit right with me. So ultimately my answer was, I don't think I'm a good fit for this. And I never heard back from Thomas after that. So I just want to reiterate, when you're just starting out as a content creator, you want to be everything for everyone. You want to create these videos that you think might earn you money, might get you new viewers, might, tap into a hitherto undiscovered niche content market. But I have found in my 1.5 years of making these videos, 2.5 years of writing articles, when I'm doing what I love doing, that is what I'm most successful at. If I try to write articles just for the money, they don't tend to do very well. It's the articles that I write that are full of heart and passion that, surprisingly take off and do really, really well, because they come from my heart, at the risk of sounding a little corny here. So this offer for a sponsored YouTube video, right? It was weird from start to finish. There was no information at the start. The only valuable thing in it for me was like cash. There was no actual value for my audience. And if you checked any of the comments, they were awful. And finally, the website was like just the very opposite of what I try to do. So I ultimately ended up saying no, but it was a great way for me to reflect on what is important to me, and honestly how far I've come as a freelance writer, where I say no to people who try to pay me money to do stuff, where I try to stay true to my brand. Because, and here's my slightly corny conclusion, ready? No matter how tempting it is for you to hustle after money or, just do what you think you need to do to get by, the most valuable thing you have to offer, I have to offer, anybody has to offer, is our brand, is who we are. And like a couple $100 is a little cheap for that, in my opinion. And I think that's probably all I would have gotten from Thomas. So that's my story, my exciting first story time video. That's why I rejected this sponsored YouTube video. And honestly, I'm glad I did, because I wouldn't have enjoyed making it. I don't think it wasn't a good fit for me. I don't think you would have enjoyed watching it. Well, maybe you would have, just because I was in it, but you probably wouldn't. It wouldn't have been valuable for you. And I have been able to set a milestone. I've rejected a sponsored YouTube video, even though they wanted to pay me money. And I think that's just a mark of how far I've come. So hopefully you enjoyed this story. And if you have any questions, always feel free to leave them in the comments. I go through my comments once a week on Mondays. So yeah, Happy New Year, y'all. We made it, 2021. Happy writing, everyone. Bye.